I-N-2-E-R, not for and sure.
Yeah, a Waterloo, Ontario man and his dog are lucky to be alive after surviving a bear attack. Tom Tilley was camping in northern Ontario with his Staffordshire Terrier, Sam, when a black bear attacked them on the trail. Sam put himself between the bear and his owner, long enough for Tom to stab and kill the bear with his hunting knife. Tom Tilley and Sam join us this morning from Kitchener with more on what happened and the story. And how are you?
Well, we're getting better. It's starting to heal up a bit.
Tom, when you're on this canoe trip, and even planning it, and I gather you're portaging at the time, did you ever think that in this kind of country that did you ever fear running into a bear?
Well, I had an awareness that I would run into bears, but normally it's been from a distance and such. This was a little bit of a different happening.
So take us back to what happened when you realized that there was a bear.
Well, we were walking towards the beginning of the portage again to retrieve the canoe. I'd already taken a couple loads to the end of the portage. I was aware of nothing wrong until Sam started to growl there, and I turned behind me, and 20 feet behind me there was this black bears coming up the trail, sneaking up behind me. If Sam hadn't growled, I may have not have known until it was too late. At that point, I did what I was heard and should do. I made myself appear bigger, I made lots of noise, and I walked slowly backwards while still facing the bear. But it wasn't scaring this bear off, it just kept approaching. I was considering doing something else, maybe being a little bit more aggressive to scare him off, but before I could make up my mind to do anything different, the bear had taken off the portage path and went maybe 6 to 8 feet into the brush and ran up past me and came onto the portage trail behind me, cutting off the way I had hoped to escape. At that point, I kind of realized I might be in a bit of trouble here. The bear seemed to me to be acting aggressive. I'm not a big guy, and I could very well be easily prey in his eyes as well.
And then the bear attacked your dog?
Yeah, well, this was strange at this point. Like, I resumed what I was doing, waving my arms, making noise, walking backwards, but Sam had come and placed himself perpendicular to the bear, across the path between myself and the bear. Like, he wasn't facing the bear aggressively or barking or growling at the bear. He was just standing there. Looking back, I was thinking, what the heck was that all about? You know, was he being incredibly stupid? Was he just blocking the path? Was he sacrificing himself for me? I never know what was going through his mind, but I know the outcome was that the bear took a few steps forward and chomped down upon his back.
And at that point, I read that you actually were angry. I mean, you must have been terrified all at the same time, but that you were angry that it was going after your dog.
Sure, well, I love my dog very much, and my first thought was, you're not going to kill my dog. Normally, I had discussed this situation in the past, what to do on a rare occasion that this would happen, and the consensus was I should run away and save myself. That would be foolhardy and probably fatal to try and save the dog. But in this case, if I would have ran away, I would have been running towards the end of the portage where my gear was. My canoe was still back at the end. I had no real way to escape the area. And after he was finished with the appetizer, he may have been coming after the main course, and I would have been, facing the bear head on with the knife, which is not enviable. But the momentary distraction that Sam provided to take the bear's attention away from me gave me the opportunity to run behind the bear, straddle its back, and begin to stab it.
And you killed it.
Yeah, I kept stabbing until it was dead.
Any doubt in your mind that Sam saved your life?
No, none whatsoever. Twice, I'd say. First by alerting me to the bear's presence coming up behind me, and then again by placing himself between me and the bear and taking that first bite.
Well, and an interesting additional story to this wonderful story is I understand, because of all the media attention after what you've been through, that it actually got you back in touch with a long-lost son.
Yeah, it was incredible. Like, I've come out to tell the story. I'd rather do without the hoopla, but in the hopes that maybe it would help somebody else in their encounters with bears and give their dogs some well-deserved good press. I never expected anything good to come out of it to me. But I guess my son out west, who I lost track of about 5 years ago, he had moved from BC to Alberta, and then before he could let me know where he was, I had moved, so we didn't know where each other was. So he heard about the story and was able to make some phone calls, and information was passed to me, and we got together yesterday. I opened up an email, and it was him.
And you were able to talk to him, and how wonderful.
Yeah, it was great. I got to talk to my grandson, who's now 10 years old, and I tell you, when I first heard him say, "Hello, Papa," it was great.
Oh, I bet it was. Tom Tilley, what an amazing story. Thank you for telling it to us.
Oh, you're welcome.